Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 41 of Baldur's Gate 3. We are exactly where we left off, however I did do a quick inventory pass and just got us a little bit less encumbered, moved some stuff back to the cache. I also realized after the last episode that there was a little bit of housekeeping that I'd forgotten, which is probably a good thing given how much time that we spent here. It was a very, very action-packed episode. But when I was in the bank vaults between episodes 39 and 40, I actually picked up some documents that seem kind of important to main plot stuff, so I figured that maybe we'd jump in and take a look at some of those as we get started here. A chapter from a diary penned in Raphael's Sybaritic hand. And see, I feel like I would have remembered that word, so let's take a look at this. I have not read this before. While I have, over many a sumptuous season, cast the net of my contractual predilections both far and wide, never have I been so attracted to mortals as I am to those infested by the tadpole. Those particular fish find themselves splashing towards their doom, towards a steel hook unblemished by bait. How they resist the current, how inexorable its whim, its tug, its dark undertow. At the other end of the fishing pole, the illithid. How their tentacles must quiver like cool jelly at the prospect of more catches, more and more each day along the troubled riverbank. This process has a name I sample now aloud to savor its taste, Ceramorphosis. I shall make crafty use of this development. For with the hook glinting and death so close, what could loom larger in the stricken fish's mind than the prospect of rescue? Chapter 2 of the diary is penned in Raphael's steady, imperious scrawl. Last night I dreamt of a river, waist deep I waded it, rusted hooks curled up from the water like the snaggled teeth of something ancient and diseased and submerged. The moon over the water cracked, and fire flew out on stubby wings of gormless, insanely chirping chicks. They transformed into wriggling oblongs like sperm, yet by the time they hit the water they were fish with scales of orange and gold. There came a rushing sound. The dark water ablaze as if the fish were matches and the river a snake of oil. Approaching me out of the flames came the tadpole infested. There was one among them who spoke to the rest. They gestured to the melting hooks, suddenly glanced my way, and in their face I saw they had the best of me. In waking, my courage has firmed. I progress my plans for the tadpole even now. I am Raphael. I am not easily bested. So he had prophetic dreams that this was not going to go his way, and he still went ahead with it. Okay, well, I'm glad that we proved him wrong. Alright, here's Raphael's third diary, the final chapter from a diary penned by Raphael's hand. Here and there, his composed hand stiffens and moves erratically, as if he were by time seized by emotion both powerful and unexpected. The plot thickens, goes the aphorism, entirely inadequate. The plot mutates, it fluctuates. I've conceived no less than 13 variations by which I might seize the crown of Karsus. Yet in the tumult of this eternally flowing river of schemes, I, the most careful of fishermen, find its catch elusive and difficult to wrangle. Even in cooperation, such ambiguity and delicious surprise. But the hook has snagged, the doom of Ceramorphosis has abated, yet they could not predict, could they? Could they? That in leaving behind the river they have in fact welcomed the fishbowl. I am master here, a prince of bargains cloaked in cunning like scarlet satin. All that hidden under sublimely obvious truths cannot be discounted. So the fisherman reels, the tadpoles are my catch. Struggled as they might, writhe as they wish, flop and squirm and thresh with every ounce of strength, no matter. By all the reeking flames of hell, I will not be denied. Did he write this? This feels like he wrote it on his way back. And like, I don't know how demons travel. Can you pull out a journal and be writing while you're flying, or whatever his mechanism was to return home? Okay, report for Raphael. Somehow, writes Carilla, word that the Orphic Hammer is in the House of Hope has gotten out and is circulating on the Gates Information black market. I have two suspects for this. First, Gortash, who, of course, knows many of the house's secrets. And second, that Diabolus for hire Helsik, who I think helped Gortash burgle the crown of Karsus and might have learned about the hammer from him. If I had to guess, I'd wager it was Helsik, simply because if she has something that's worth money, she'll find a way to sell it, and selling away to free Orpheus could come with a high price tag. We never discussed Orpheus with Helsik. It's interesting that Carilla assumes that Helsik knows about Orpheus, and may even be working in that direction. Maybe that's why she was ultimately willing to let us in for free. Well, I think it's that and the Hill Giant Gauntlet strengths things. Transcript of the key passage in the interrogation of Flovis Nuge, steward of the Knights of the Shield Hall. Blackhand asks, when did you begin to suspect that Duke Stelmane was not herself? Nuge says, I cleared her dinner dishes after a meal of mutton pie, but when I got the dish up to the kitchen, the mutton was brains. Brains? Nuge says, and not sheep brains either, so I started poking around. Blackhand asks about the Elsong cellar. Nuge writes, in the Knight's secret chambers, yes, and I found a cell with a body in it, a corpse in city prison stripes. Blackhand asks, a dead state prisoner? Nuge says, if I tell you about this, you're going to let me go? Blackhand agrees. Nuge says it was a condemned criminal with the top of their head shattered and the brain mostly gone. Blackhand asks in Stelmane's rooms. Nuge says the secret part, yes, that's where she found me. Nuge says, she what? Nuge says, found me. It found me. At first I thought she was blue and floating, but then it was just Stelmane. She smiled. I don't remember anything after that. This makes it seem a lot like Duke Stelmane, who was murdered, and we were working with, I forget her name right now, to investigate that murder, was seramorphizing into an illithid. Illithids are blue, illithids float, illithids eat brains. But what's interesting is that she seems to have been dispatched relatively easily, unless there wasn't a body. I don't know if seramorphizing, leaves behind, like, the body that the illithid comes out of or not. Regardless, it seems very likely that she turned into an illithid based on that. This is the Astral Prism heist, and I think we might have gotten this out of the bank as well. After that dream, this is written by Gortash's private memoir. After that dream I had about the Githyanki threat to our accelerated grand design, my research led me to pore through the old archives left behind in Moonrise Towers by the High Heralds. These records included some surprising early sources, both Githyanki and Githzerai, that mentioned a relic or artifact called the Astral Prison, or Prism. Though the source of its power was unstated, this artifact was reputed to be able to project a field that disrupted illithid psionics. Such an artifact would clearly be an existential threat to both our absolute ambitions and the grand design. All three of the ancient sources agreed that the Astral Prism was in the hands of the Githyanki Lich Queen, Vlaakith. Thus was born the plan to set a tadpole strike team in a regrown nautiloid piloted by the Emperor to steal the Astral Prism from Vlaakith. So this is super interesting, and probably gives us a sense of what the Emperor was doing immediately before he got sealed inside the Astral Prism. This is another one of Gortash's private memoir notes. We were deep in Mephisto's vault, burgling the crown of Karsus, when I saw next to the crown that the wily archdevil had a portfolio labeled Accelerated Grand Design. I couldn't resist taking that as well. The portfolio contained plans compiled by a mad Alhun known only as Blue Apex for a version of the illithid resurgence. A grand design that called for mass tadpoling of both friends and enemies, but not to convert the tadpole into mind flayers, but rather to suspend that seramorphosis under powerful magic to create a vast and unconscious hive mind commanded by an enhanced elder brain. My mind, trained in the tyrannical tenets of Bane, instantly saw this was a means to perpetrate a powerful religious hoax, a mass movement controlled ultimately by none other than myself, for who but the chosen of Bane could master so grand a scheme? Alright, now that we've done our reading, there was one more thing. I was in a big hurry to get out of here at the end of last episode, both for real-world reasons that it had been going for a while, and also for in-game reasons that it felt like I really need to get the hell out of here. What's-his-face is going to be back any minute. However, now that we've gone through that, I would like to at least look at some of the other portals in here. I was extremely dedicated to go, get the hell out of here. But there's all these cool doors that we didn't look into, and I don't think we can go anywhere, but I want to hear what the descriptions are.
This portal leads directly to the frigid citadel of Mephisto, nestled in the Hells.
Mephisto, home to the archdevil Mephistopheles. Raphael's bold indeed if he ever visits uninvited.
Secrets of the port city of Luskan flutter behind this portal.
Luskan, city of sails, at the far north of the Sword Coast, in the shadow of the spine of the world.
It's weird to hear Alyssa talk. Like, talk that much. Normally, she's just cursed to put her hands on everything.
Menzoberranzan, the jewel of the Underdark, lies beyond.
Menzoberranzan, city of spiders. Of course Raphael has dealings in the depths of the Underdark.
Look at the shadows, by the way. That long, like, sun coming in.
The splendid city of Athkatla hums beyond the portal.
Athkatla, city of coin, capital of Arm. They say the streets are paved with gold.
There's also the setting of Baldur's Gate 2, if I remember correctly.
Neverwinter, jewel of the north.
Neverwinter, jewel of the north. I wonder if the cult of the Absolute has influence there as well.
Oh, by the way, that just reminded me. I'm going to click on this. We'll talk about it after I touch this real quick. Neverwinter. Let's remember that for 1 second.
Waterdeep, the crown of the north.
Waterdeep. The forces of the Absolute could threaten even the City of Splendors if they were to reach it.
Okay, that's all our portals. The thing I was just about to talk about was... So, Summer Games Fest is currently happening, and apparently they announced that there is going to be a Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition. Now, they have previously done Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. There's the Spear of something that I'm forgetting right now, Dragon Siege or something like that, which is sort of a new expansion that fills the gap between Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And they also did Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. But my understanding... Oh, and Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. My understanding was that Neverwinter Nights 2 was never going to be released in an Enhanced Edition because they had lost the source code for that. My understanding is that was true for Neverwinter Nights 2 and also for Icewind Dale 2. Sadly, there was no announcement about Icewind Dale 2. I would really, really like to see that get a remaster someday. And maybe I'm wrong, but they announced Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition at SGF, Summer Games Fest, yeah, this year. So, yeah, that's awesome, because I really thought that was over and done with and that we weren't going to see it, and maybe I'm just confusing it with Icewind Dale 2, but I'm really happy for that. All right. You guys, let's get out of here. Yes.
So you wormed your way into the Devil's Lair, risked mind, limb, and freedom, and destroyed the contract that bound you, the contract you never should have signed.
I'd like to pretend that I had a plan when I did it, but still, you can't argue with success, Emperor. Well, I did regret it. I regretted it before I signed it, but I didn't see an alternate way. I'm still going to go with, what are you arguing with me about right now? It's done. We did it. I destroyed it. You should be happy.
You realized the error of your ways and corrected them. But you would do better not to err in the first place, especially when there is so much at stake. You saw for yourself what the Chosen are capable of. But did you also see their weakness?
I am so sorry. Who are we defining as the Chosen right now? Because I'm thinking that it's Gortash, Ketheric Thorm, and Errol. And I didn't see anything about their weaknesses while I was fighting Raphael. So, each other? If I was to be asked about the Chosen, if I'm right about which three characters he's talking about, it's each other. The fact that they simply don't get along very well.
Yes, precisely. It was their union that made them. They had an almost flawless plan to dominate Faerun, but their distrust is their undoing. We must not fall into the same trap. We must trust one another.
Okay, Emperor, I promise you can trust me to set Orpheus free and then to turn the crown of Karsus over to Mistra. I'm telling you straight up that that's what we're gonna do. So this sucks, these three things, because I have never not trusted him. I still trust him right now. I believe that he has been fairly straight with me on what's going on. He's never previously said that he was on a nautiloid to go get the astral prism. That feels like new information that he did not share, and if he did, maybe I'm just forgetting about it. I don't actually care about that very much, because as far as I know, he might have been controlled in some way on his way over to get there. Remember that he was a free-thinking illithid until... Well, I don't know about until. He was a free-thinking illithid, but he has also confessed to having some... He can still be controlled by an elder brain, and we know that Gortash was partially in control of an elder brain, probably around the time that he was sent over to get the astral prism. What exactly that timetable was, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to go to I trust you. What I don't have here is I do trust you, but we're not going to come to a compatible conclusion here. I don't like these three options. I trust you. This feels like I'm making a promise that I know I'm going to break, but this is what I'm going to say.
Good. If we can count upon each other, then we may count one advantage in our favor. You may think yourself ingenious for having slain a devil, but you have merely ironed out a wrinkle. The Elder Brain will not be such an easy foe. It is time we resume our journey to find it.
Careful, soldier. I'm burning really hot. Had a nice break in the hells. Now that we're back, my engine's in overdrive again. Let's move. A trot will take my mind off being barbecued alive.
I would really, really, really like to help Karlach with her engine. I don't think it is possible at this stage, but we'll keep hope alive.
Trips to the hells are usually one way, especially when the traveler causes the kind of trouble you did. I knew you were a thief, didn't realize you were a killer. Raphael's death is already causing quite a stir across the hells. It's a rare thing for a mortal to slay a devil of his stature. In all the excitement, I hope you didn't forget our bargain. Do you have the gauntlets?
Absolutely.
Hand them over, and our deal is done.
They're all yours. Now, I'll tell you, if she offered, like, or you can give me the money, I might pay her the money to keep the gauntlets. But, no, they are all yours. That was our deal.
Thank you very much. Your coin is always welcome here. And so are you, Devil Slayer.
This lady can open up hell portals whenever she wishes. I don't think there's any place that I could go that would escape her wrath any more than I could Raphael's. So to not honor that deal, I think it's bad business, I think it's bad character, and I think it's bad for my health, because she's going to show up one night and just slit my throat. She's going to portal right next to me. Let's go get a few more things to sell, and if you were thinking to yourself, boy, you really should have done that with Will, yes, I should have.
No amount of contracts will save Raphael from the fate we forced upon him. A devil well slain, if I say so myself.
Raphael's good and gone. Feels damn good too. Now, if only I could get rid of the other devil in my life. Sorry, but there's no room for me.
We're going to bring him in over... We're probably going to get Astarion right back into the party, but for now.
Ready and willing. is no more. I shall not shed any tears.
To slay a devil in his domain is to end him entire. Or it should be. I am still primed to hear some slimy final rhyme from beyond the grave.
Copper for your thoughts?
How was it being in the House of Hope?
Ugh, thank the gods it's over, I say. My last trip to the Hells ever.
I'm not going to threaten her with a bad time, so we're going to go, I knew we'd make it out in one piece.
Right you are. Got what we came for, and then some. Engine's burning like a bat out of a furnace again, though. Gods, I almost forgot how hot this thing is. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Probably.
Ha! Defeating a devil in his own home feels very, very good, actually.
Alright, checking into our journal, we've got Find the Wyrmway. After reading the Legend of Ansor, we discovered the Great Worm Ansor resides in a secret lair called the Wyrmway. The entrance is apparently located somewhere within Wyrmrock's prison, and the notes indicate, or hint, that opening the way involves lightning, sparks, and torches. Well, I've got people that can do lightning sparks. We are carrying torches. I feel like we can go get that stuff. Let's jump into the map, and we're gonna fast travel back to Wyrmrock's prison, and I think that that's all the way back here. Here we are at Wyrmrock's prison. We're going to go downstairs, and we visited here a while back, and I was able to sneak past the sleepy guard here, and we got to see some of the stuff in here, which I'm pleased to note is actually all in grayscale. What I didn't do was go too far in, because at the time I had no reason to. This has... Find the entrance to Ansor's lair, the Wyrmway. I don't know how far his vision cone goes, and also I don't see anything over here that resembles an entrance to anything. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, wow. We just barely didn't get seen. So, time out for 1 second, though. The description said lightning. Let me read it again. Lightning, sparks, and torches. Well, we've got some torches here. We could light them up. It's a very bad idea. Oh, look, hold on. Dragon's Edge torch. There's 2 of these. Karlak, can you interact with this? Okay, that's going to make it much easier for us to get spotted. That doesn't help much.
I'm here for you, always.
About the Legend of Ansor.
It's not just a legend. It's a history. Consider this. To Wyrmway neath prison's deepest level. That must mean Wyrm's rock prison. That's where we'll find the entrance to this Wyrmway. Then this. With the shock of a true hero's spark flickers, the torches alight, and Wyrm's eyes shall awake a glitter. To open the way, we'll need to spark torches. This dragon Ansor was Baldur's ally. We'd be fools to let him sleep while the Dead Three's chosen raised the city.
Okay, super dislike the fact that let's see what we can get away with. The way that he talks about it, it feels like we have to light them up with lightning charges, which is more or less what the journal says as well, but let's try exactly that. First of all, let's break everybody out. Air Myrmidon, what can these guys do? Electrified Flail, that's got to be worth something. So I'm going to say, I'm going to throw down a quick save because I don't want to waste my Wild Shape on nothing. But we will give this a decent shot. Well, that appears to have done absolutely nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. Holy hell, that worked. What I was expecting to happen was that we would hit it with lightning and it would light up as part of that. It didn't really occur to me that it was going to be a two-step process.
These boots have seen everything. I'm way too big.
So this would have been another way down here if we couldn't solve the puzzle. We could have used like a potion of gaseous form or maybe a polymorph into like a little mouse. Okay, that is not navigable.
Should mind my step.
The Wyrm's lair. Incredible. The legends were true, and we've marked our place among them. We'll prove our worth with unrusted swords and meet the dragon, the good dragon, or so we pray. God bless our endeavor. Oh, we've got murals to look at. Okay, hold on.
Another step forward.
I'm gonna start here.
Is that Baldur with a bronze dragon? Must have been quite an adventure. Baldur and his winged ally admiring the fruits of their labor. The city itself. Baldur sails away and leaves the dragon to watch over his city. Do the histories make mention of this?
And there are no murals on the other side.
Statue before you bears a familiar likeness. It is Baldur, the celebrated adventurer who founded the city of Baldur's Gate.
Peril floods my province. The palisades fall, the earth does tremble. The servants of shadow and blood assemble. Beyond lies the grand worm, deep in slumber, awaiting a true hero's advent. Should my domain drown in torment. Be you the deluge, turn away. Be you the hero, answer true. Are you worthy?
Poetic nonsense. There is no worm and no savior.
I'll go for Arcana. Oh, and because Halsin is not in human form, he can't do guidance. I don't want to transform him back, though. We just spent a wild shape to get in here. Do I want to burn inspiration? What do we need? We have to get like a 12 or better? That's doable. I've only got 2 inspirations, though. Let's skip it, because if I could have Will or somebody else, they'd probably be better at the Arcana section.
Whatever magic allows this statue to speak, it lies beyond your grasp.
What is this place? What are you?
The statue gives no response.
So yeah, he's got a +5. It's better than the +3. Now we only need a 10 or better. And if I'm going to spend any inspiration, this is where to do it. Still not great. However, hold on. She needs a 16 or better, but anything is possible. Including exactly that. Look at that.
You sense neither life nor spirit within the statue. A powerful variant of magic mouth has been cast on it, allowing it to speak only recorded messages.
Okay, then Karlach would definitely say I'm worthy. Open the way.
Ancient Ansor, hear me. A champion is proclaimed. The test begins. Let your judgment follow.
Incredible. How old is this place? Wish I had a bag of holding.
I think I want to do our regular run. I mean, we've... Wait, what's shrouded? Something cunning over there. Conquer the Wyrmway's trials. Well, when in doubt, start on the left. I bet the statue of Balduran's gonna let us know about it. The judge. Let's go pickpocket the judge. It'll be great.
Paintings hung on the wall. Almost like an art gallery.
A true champion knows justice and eliminates those who stand in its way. Restore the balance of justice.
Justice. No pardon without repentance, and no penalty without mercy. The right path often lies between the extremes.
Thank you for the wise words. I'll keep them in mind. Yeah, I feel like that's helpful.
Wise indeed, though I can't take credit. It was my father who taught me the ways of the just.
Okay, so I want to take a look at the photographs for sure, the paintings. I just don't know what to make of the judge. I feel like I saw him turning before. Why don't we separate everybody out? And we're going to have Halsin, Will, and Karlach hang out up here for the time being.
The apple. The painting depicts a red-haired man stealing a shiny apple from a cart in an open-air market. You know this market, the Wide, where Baldur's Gate citizens and visitors gather to conduct trade and wax political.
Have to keep going.
The child. A red-haired man is portrayed with his cloak's hood lowered, giving an apple to a smiling urchin. Several other children are huddled behind the one receiving the apple, hands outstretched. The induction. A red-haired man is depicted in hushed conversation with a dark-haired woman. She wears a cloak with an unusual symbol on it, tally marks totaling the number 9. The theft. A red-haired man is depicted in the Hall of Wonders, thieving what looks to be a priceless artifact. It's an astrolabe of entrapment. It could hold a dozen djinn within it, perhaps even more. The chase. A red-haired man is depicted running through the city streets, a flaming fist officer chasing just behind. A cloaked woman, hair dark as a raven, looks on from a safe distance. The judgment. A stern judge, his pockets full of coin, orders a red-haired man to the gallows. A shiny apple rests on the ground nearby.
Always room for more.
Okay.
Behold, the paintings tell the tale. My judgment is rendered. The thief earns his due.
The shadows are blocking me. I need to get rid of them somehow. The shadows are blocking me.
Right.
I need to get rid of
No,
them.
the judge has spoken. The crime must be punished.
So how would we get rid of the shadows? There is a wind blow spell that gets rid of surfaces. This fog seems to be generating from this place or from the judge itself. We might step away from this and experiment with some of the other ways that there are to go, in case these have to be done in a specific order. Alternatively, you know, I didn't just light a light source. We could try the most simple thing.
The shadows are blocking me. I need to get rid of them somehow.
Okay, we have to put a judgment there, one of the paintings. I assume one of these 3 paintings, the shrouded paintings. Look closer.
The shadows are blocking me. I need to get rid of them somehow.
So this is not listed in red. I want to see if I can pick it up.
The shadows are blocking me.
No.
I need to get rid of
And we
them.
can't talk to this guy. Let's try the center way. Lock picking impossible. So we can't go straight.
Can't slow down.
A champion burns bright, even when rushing waters and moaning winds threaten to extinguish the flames. Take the torch, withstand the elements, prove your courage.
All right. What's attuned crystal? Sturdy is what it is, and we can hit it with a hammer. Why would we want to, though? I don't remember seeing other things. Hold on. This seems important. Air elemental. Ethereal. Can't be shoved, thrown, or used as an improvised weapon, but we can still do damage to it. Very resistant against lightning damage. Are they all air elementals? Water, air, and water. Okay, so we've got air and water. The water guys are going to do mostly frost and acid resistance. Okay, well, then let's start with Halsin. Hitting the air elementals with his lightning flail isn't going to help very much, but we could do this to the water elemental. And although we could teleport, I don't see a reason to do that right now. Well, Alyssa's not wearing her... She's got her torch out. Let's switch to this. I think that we aim at getting these guys down, but hold on. Somewhat resistant to piercing damage. Halsin, how do you feel about lightning damage when you're in this form? He's very resistant to it, so I kind of feel like we could shoot a lightning arrow. Are these guys weak to anything? They're weak to nothing, but they're particularly strong against physical damage, thunder, lightning, and poison. That says nothing about acid or fire. I don't have a lot of fire arrows. Let's go for some acid damage. And then we're going to pull Alyssa back. When in doubt. Oh, we have to survive the trial for 4 turns. I didn't look over here prior to this. I thought it was just kill the guys. Karlak. So these guys are, yeah, no physical attacks at all, and they're both air elemental. So we'll go for the one that's partially damaged. They might be resistant, but they're not immune. Oh, and we could go for a cleave. Just remind me of the area effective cleave. Yeah, so if we come to about here, let's try it. We want to not hit Alyssa, obviously. Perfect. Kind of thinking about raging. Let's not worry about it just yet. Can we do a prepare? Okay, and on some occasions she does get like a bonus attack, but no, not right now. So we could get air elemental down to 26. Will. Air elemental doesn't feel any sort of way about force damage. Is vulnerable to cold, though. I thought that he had a cold cantrip. He doesn't. I think we might have taken it away in favor of something else. How much damage does this do? His Arcane Eldritch Blast? 6 to 15, and this guy's... We've got a 90% chance... I'm gonna hit him all 3 times. If we kill him by the second hit, so be it. Okay, just knock him right out. Ring out. And then we can make an additional attack. Withering Cut. Do we want to do this? When you hit a creature with melee, you can spend a reaction to deal additional necrotic damage. Sure, I don't think these guys are resistant against necrotic. Okay. Paulson's doing great against this water elemental by hitting with lightning. We're going to keep doing that. Okay. One guy down. Now, this dude is just going to be a regular hit. Yeah. Alyssa's too close. It doesn't say anything about an attack of opportunity here. Okay, seems good. Let me continue to hit this guy. I don't want to use a lot of lightning arrows. But again, acid is fair game. Not a huge fan of going into the acid, but it's probably better than the thunder water. So we will hold on. We could get over here. Let's do this instead. Nope. Sorry, I meant to click on this to hit. Yeah, that was way better than a critical miss. Okay, Gale is down a little bit because he is shocked. Weapon attacks deal additional damage equal to the affected spell casting modifier. Well, that's something. So we're going to hit this guy. I don't think that I've got a lot of opportunity to hit him fast. Radiant Holy Power that emboldens you and nearby allies. We all deal extra radiant damage. Let's do that. Is that an action? Oh, that's his whole action? I really want to hit this guy, though. Yeah, that was a pretty good round for him. 3 hits on Water Elemental.
What now?
Let's start with Alyssa. Alyssa is fairly pinned down by this guy, and Halsin might be able to help out with it. but not really. Can I feel like I can teleport out past him to get here. And then we're going to lightning strike this guy. That frees up Alyssa to be able to move. And then we want to get him out of here. So I think that we're just going to fly him over here. End his turn. Here's Alyssa. Alyssa's down to 13 hit points, which is why I was so concerned. I don't know what this maelstrom is. I feel like I really don't want to be standing in it. Does it give us any indication here? She does have some lightning charges. She's silenced in the raging vortex, which does 2 to 16 points of damage per turn. Let's get right out of that. Okay. I feel like we have to take a potion. Except I just jumped, so I don't have a bonus action anymore. Okay, well then we will do our best shot on whoever we can make hurt. Air Myrmidon. Poison, no. Thunder, no. Lightning, no. Everything else is fair game. So how about some ice? And then I would like to be as far away from them as possible. I still feel like there might be something to this, and this crystal, attuned crystal. Oh, and there's more dudes over here. I had not seen that. And we have no healing for her. Oh, wait, if she goes down, that's it? I guess I thought we were playing in accordance with, like, regular rules, where we would be able to, like, it was just finish the battle. Alright. Halsin is ready to help. So I think we'll go do that. Yeah, his lightning flail works really well. On the water guys, at least. And then why don't we... But I mean, he doesn't care about being electrified, does he? We'll have him be right there, so if either of them... I think they can teleport out, but now they have to teleport out, which is better than not. Do we have any cool... Not really. I was going to say bonus actions to do. Now it's Alyssa. I don't feel like I have a lot of great options here. We definitely move out of here, but before we do, let's see if we can kill off this water elemental. $26 points of damage. And by the way, I'm not using the Hunter's Mark because I might want to jump, except I don't really. So let's go ahead and do Hunter's Mark. And I guess we'll hide behind here. That's the best I can think of. When in doubt, cowardice. So, these crystals, they are resistant to a lot of things, but not force. Let's go for force damage. Well, I'm not convinced that did anything except look cool. Alright, well, there we go. Not only did he fall down, he fell down into the electrified water, and he's slightly upside down, so he's also waterboarding himself. This is great. Perfect. A+ for Will. Let's try to draw. So I think that this time we are absolutely going to frenzy. That's her bonus action. So we're going to try to get off of the ice without slipping. God damn it. So this is going really poorly for the team. Silence his creatures. The trouble is these guys are very close to my own creatures, and I don't want to do that to them. Let's see if we can stop this. And then the trouble is, if these guys decide that they're going to go beat up on Alyssa, there's, like... Oh, do these... you guys, I think they might be getting tougher as they go. Because the first set were level 9, and then these guys are level 11. I wonder if this is a test of wisdom, where you just run away. Just don't let them catch you. And for the time being...
None shall withstand me.
I don't want to stand in the lightning anymore. Also, if we move away, we get hit by an attack of opportunity. So we probably switch back to... Well, not that. And I just used my action. So now I can't attack. I really just wanted a regular... My regular attack. My regular blade. So we can't do that anymore. We do have a bonus action. I think we're going to take a really good healing potion. Like a very good one. And then I sort of hang out here. Okay, that super sucked. Will is back on his feet. Smashing the crystal didn't help us at all that I could tell. Maybe that's part of it, like we do smash all 3 crystals, but right now it feels like a huge waste of options. Let's see if we can... I don't know, knock these guys around some. I always make fun of Will's jump, but in fact, it is like a human-sized jump. It's what a regular person who's not currently at the Olympics would be able to do. Let's... So there's no more ice, which is nice. Let's go ahead and hit Water Elemental, and her... hammer ignores bludgeoning resistance, so he doesn't get any benefit from that anymore. And then we might have something else. Let's throw a javelin. Or this trident +1. And that's what we've got. Who is lowest on hit points? This guy. Right there. So, yeah, let's see if we can sneak in here. And then I don't know the exact edges of this wild maelstrom, so we're just going to move him back. But honestly, like, with 2 attacks coming up, I think Alyssa might just get dead. They're really focused on whoever pulls the torch, I feel like. And then they didn't attack Alyssa, so I'm wrong about that. Alyssa, let's get right to it. We're going to take a healing potion. That brings her almost back up to full. And now... bound. Does that mean she can't give it up? Cannot be dropped while the trial is ongoing. Okay, and it probably cannot be unequipped, although we are allowed to use a ranged weapon. Can I use my ranged weapon on this guy? Not with this guy's... the other guy's so close. Halson I obviously don't want to attack. And this guy I have a disadvantage on. So, do I then want to try to hit this attuned crystal? I guess. It feels more constructive than hitting this guy for 3 points of damage. No, that actually did 0 points of damage, so it was worse. And then, oof. So if I stay where I am, I definitely take damage. If I move, then I can potentially avoid this attack of opportunity.
Step forward.
Which did happen. Okay, and then we just hang out here.
Victor's path.
And then a little bit of extra damage. And then, well, again, we want to be outside the maelstrom. If I bring him down here, does that qualify as like leaving the Tempest? Not the Tempest, the Trial. I'm going to move down here and hopefully it doesn't like flunk me. Karlach. Yeah, the guy she was attacking is done. Alyssa's over there. I kind of feel like going and attacking this guy with his 87 hit points. I feel like we can do more. Then again, look at 37 hit points. And this guy actually goes next. So let's try to stop this attack from coming. All right, let's pivot and do an improvised throw of... How about Wulbren's Hammer? And then, again, I want to get out of the Maelstrom. This does feel like I might slip on the ice again. Oh, them filling this up with all of this stuff. So we only have to make it one more round. We're close.
We shall prevail.
I gotta say, they can call this a courage test. At the moment, it feels like a test of how many healing potions you brought with you. It's a water myrmidon. Yeah, let's hit this guy with Electro Flail. Okay. Oh, wow! You guys! A rare miss from Halson. Did he just... I thought I saw that go all the way down. But whatever. We also stunned him. So it was only good news. I thought he one-shotted him. Or two-shotted him. I thought he killed him. Let's get out of here. Okay, then don't find a path. Do a teleport. Either that or a test of your armor class. Let's open with Healing Potion. After that... Can we get up here? Yeah, because this guy doesn't have any... And that gets us out of the Maelstrom because we're no longer silent, so that's really good news. Air elemental. If anything more to, like, hit him, I guess it doesn't really matter. Will, to the extent that we can stand outside of all of this and launch our attacks in. Oh, we're still silenced. And we're so close. I don't want to move further back. Like, okay, I'll move 1 meter further back. Got it. Okay, now we can do this. I'm just going to hit this guy 3 times and hope to kill him. Excellent. And that's Will. Karlach can hit this guy a whole bunch. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Not enough to put him down. Yes, enough to...
Knees high.
try to get out of this. Yuck. Okay. Your courage is a beacon to meek and mighty alike. May you ever withstand the raging elements. Sir, what was the crystal for? Why are there attunement crystals? Is that just a decoration? No? Okay, well, we did it. I don't think there is any point to smashing these, and yet, I just want to see. Wait, crystal skin? Resistance to all elemental damage? Well, that would have been awesome. Did that... If that happened when I, like, smashed that last time, I completely missed it. So yeah, do better than I did. There was a whole tactic to use here. Here we are. So, then it's back to the Chamber of Justice, because we can only go left and right. Let's look in the journal to see if there's any further information about this one, because this, I'm kind of stumped on this one. No, we have to prove ourselves worthy as worthy heroes.
Need to find a way forward.
We've looked at all of the paintings. They tell a story of a man who stole an apple to give it to a street urchin that then brokered a deal with a woman with a mysterious symbol on her back to go steal something that could have multiple djinn inside. Then he had to run away from the cops while possibly the same woman was sort of looking on from a safe distance. And then it got to the point where he was on trial, and the judge had a lot of gold in his pocket, insinuating that the judge had been paid off, and there was an apple on the ground, which again insinuates that the child had either turned him in or had also been tried. The apple only, it sort of like connects it so that the child was there after receiving the apple, but the child might also have been on trial themselves. And then we've got 3 shrouded paintings. Or obscured by the judge's necrotic shadow. Difficult to manipulate, can be shoved, pushed, or thrown. It can see in the dark. It's ethereal. It can do an opportunity attack. While lightly or heavily obscured, this creature gains the ability to blend with shadows and become invisible, and has a sunlight weakness. The thing is, this thing is not hostile to me. I don't really want to do it harm. But also, while in sunlight it has disadvantage, but it doesn't take any damage. What isn't it immune to? All physical attacks, acid, thunder, necrotic, fire, lightning, cold, psychic, poison, radiant, force. And probably moral damage. Like, I don't know. So we cannot, in any meaningful way, attack the judge. I don't think. It's undead. I guess theoretically we could turn undead, except that we only ever knew one person that could do that, and she ain't here no more. I do not know how to interact with this puzzle. Regular old torch doesn't do it. Shrouded sentence. Obscuring paintings within 6 meters, preventing judgment from being passed on an accursed soul. So it's cursed. So we might be able to remove curse. Let's try that. Okay, after those shenanigans, we're back with Will. Let's see if we can clear the curse off the judge, and then I will be out of ideas.
Never fear.
Holy hell, that worked. Wow. I honestly thought that was a long shot.
So that's progress.
Okay, okay. So, we might go around and look at the paintings again real quick, but let's look at the results that we have.
The hanging. A red-haired man is depicted hanging from a gallows as a crowd looks on. You notice a child in the crowd, a falling tear leaving a trail on his cheek. Freedom. A red-haired man walks the streets of Baldur's Gate, clad in a billowing cloak. You catch a glimpse of a sly smile beneath his hood and a golden coin in his hand. The cell. A stern prison guard slides a warm meal into the thief's cell. The red-haired man has a 10-day left to serve, judging by the scratchings on the wall behind him.
Based on what we've seen, when we came in, and I know that we just went and did a whole other side of this, we talked with where Will spoke up, which, no, we need to go get Will, I feel like, because this is his thing. When we came up, he said, the path to justice is neither all the way to one side or all the way to the other. It's not completely harsh or completely lenient, but something that splits the difference. And the cell seems like it. He's in a cell. He's lost his freedom. He does have access to food, and it's said to be a warm meal. And he's only in there for another 10 days. 10 days seems to be about a week. It feels like the week here is 10 days in Faerun. That's at least the way that they talk about it. And then he's going to be out. So he's done his penance. He's served his time. He's not a bad guy that deserves to be hung for his crime of stealing the priceless artifact. But he's also, he did do a bad thing, that he stole something that he didn't need when he was doing business with that woman. So I think it's definitely going to do this. However, it's important to me to have Will here because he's the one who sort of like gave me a clue on what to do. So we're going to go grab him real quick. I don't know that they're going to have any special dialogue to have been here. It just feels right. So we're going to take this and then put it over here. You banished the dishonorable judge. No, I wanted to see it. I am a paragon of justice. So that was correct. You banished the dishonorable judge and applied lex talionis, the principle of the sentence being proportional to the crime. Your paragon of justice proceed. And then he repeated himself because I didn't get out of here fast enough. Okay. But no, that was Will. I really don't have a prediction on what I would have done. You know what I would have done if Will hadn't spoken up? I would have let the man go, except it would have been my character letting the man go, because I would have said, well, based on the fact that the guy stole something, I would think that some sort of penalty would be appropriate. However, my character, I think of in my head, is being chaotic good. So she'd say, nuts the legal system. Look at how much I steal. I'm not going to condemn that man to death. And I would have let him just go free. Because again, she is like part rogue. Only a little bit. Only like 1%. But she is a little bit of rogue.
Oakfather preserve you. Your ranks are full. You're ready.
So if Gale hadn't spoken up, I would have role-played it as getting the answer wrong. So I'm very glad that he was there. Prove your worth to the heart of the gate. Okay. What other trials are there? I thought there were only the two. We did the Chamber of Justice and the Chamber of Courage. Oh, look, look! There's two other ways. I absolutely did not see these.
Pawns. King, queen. Is this a lance board?
I hope it is, because if it's a chessboard, I'm in big trouble. Oh, dear. So, do we just smash these down? Again, I don't know of another way in, so we're going to maybe save it. Don't really want to get in trouble here. Boy, if I'd done that one first, I would have known what those crystals did for the Trial of Courage.
Looking ahead.
Chamber of Strategy. Uh-oh.
Prove your strategic wits. There is but one rule. The Dark King must fall in 2 moves. Are you a commander of armies, or a shivering pawn? Fodder for cleverer minds.
I'm afraid I have little experience with lance sport, let alone the command of soldiers.
Okay, timeout. This is a game of intelligence, so I think we're gonna go get Gale again. I think that Alyssa would be comfortable turning this one over to Gale, if an intelligence bonus would help.
The Dark King must fall in 2 moves. A leader succeeds. A pretender fails.
Okay, he has nothing to say. Gale does. I'm going to save it. Let's do a new save. What do they call this? Lance board. Challenge. But let's assume that it operates according to the rules of chess. Oh, this is a... This may not be the best camera angle for me. So Zara is recommending to talk to Gale. I will do that, because I did bring him here, because when Will had nothing to say, I thought that Gale might. So I was deliberately looking to trigger this.
Whatever ancient purpose is imbued in these halls, it may not welcome our presence here. We should be wary of whatever lurks beneath the dust.
Okay, I'm going to assume that maybe we talk to him again.
How can I help?
Well, with this, but yeah, he doesn't seem to have too much to say about it right now. So, the Dark King is back there. If we assume that this operates according to the rules of chess, I would take this to be a bishop that can travel diagonally. If this is... Yeah, it straight says. Okay. So, yes. Okay, if I move at all... There we go. All right. So... If we move our bishop, they take our king... we lose. Like, we immediately put ourselves into check, so we can't do that. If we move the white queen here, like, so do we sacrifice the queen? Remember, we've only got to make 3 moves. So, hypothetically, we move the queen here or here. Theoretically, they come and they take the queen. That might move the rook out of the way. Then we move our bishop in. King moves someplace, left or right. Left or down, it doesn't matter. Boy, we're really assuming that we don't move the, that he doesn't move the queen instead. Because the queen could put our king into check immediately, if they did that instead. And then we'd have to move the king. And in fact, we couldn't move the king anywhere. Yeah, no, if the queen moves here, I think that's checkmate, isn't it? Because the king can only move 1. Moves there, dead, 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 dead. I guess he could move here. Yeah, king could move there. If we did that. I feel like our best bet is to try to force him to move his king. So, hypothetically, we move white bishop here. He has to move his king then. That's the only way that we control what his move is. We put his king into check. So we move white bishop here. Right, he can't move his queen there, because then we take his king. So we move our bishop here. King is in check. King has to move to either of these spaces. What would we do then? Well, I think that we do it, and then we look at our options. Because if we take any other action, we can't predict what he's going to do. And this has to be a controllable space. So I think... No, we can't do that. Derp and a half, because then black rook immediately takes our white king. And I already said that. Damn. Okay, so we're back to square one. If we move our queen here, we lose our queen. Then we move the bishop here. That's what we do. Well, but we don't know that we lose the queen. Is there any way to take that queen off the board? Well, there is. No, there's not, because we can't move the bishop here. Rook takes our king. If we move this pawn forward, it puts the queen in jeopardy. It will absolutely move the queen to protect the queen from the pawn. We move the pawn forward. He moves the queen. If I was going to move the queen, I would move down here to put the king in check. But that's too many moves. Because if we're busy defending our king, we can't do it in 3 moves. How do we put the pressure onto his king when we can't move it there? We move the white queen here. I don't know why he wouldn't move his queen down here. Why does he care about he put the king into check? Someone else has solved this already in chat, I'm sure. We can't take the queen because that puts our king to check. Bishop has to stay exactly where it is. What if we move the king? That's the only thing that I haven't considered yet. We move the king. If we move the king here, queen comes down, puts us in check. If we move the king... There's no place we can move the king where the queen doesn't immediately put him in check, and then she's chasing the king and we lose our 3 turns. We move the queen here. That puts the king in check. That's the only move that makes sense. We move the queen here. King's in check. King can only move there. Wait, you guys, can we just smash the piece? Hold on. Are we allowed to cheat? What if the king... I'm just noticing that the king has hit points. Can we just have Karlak go smash the piece? Oh, I don't want to try it, though. I really want to solve the mystery. If we move the queen back here, queen takes our queen... I'm not averse to sacrificing the queen, but it's got to be for a really clear purpose. Wait a second. Hold on, but he has to move his king, except he doesn't because he can move his pawn. By the way, I'm assuming that it's like this is my side and this is his side. Hold on, this changes things. We move the queen over here. Pawn takes queen. Pawn is here. No, they can't do that because then our bishop takes king. So he still moves the king. We just take the pawn. But then the king takes our queen, and then the bishop takes the king. The king can't take our queen. That's the move. I wasn't thinking about what happened after that. I said I was willing to sacrifice the queen, and I wasn't. But that's exactly what we do. Queen goes here. He has to move here. Queen takes pawn. Then he has nowhere to go. That's checkmate. I think that's it.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more.
I don't know how to actually move this piece. Hold on. We spent so much time looking. How do you do it? Like, mechanically, how do you do it? Go here. Wait. Wait, I am white, right? Hold on. I'm gonna be so pissed off. I'm killing this guy, right? I don't know why it's giving me the gears on the dark pieces. No, right. I want to move this. Oh, okay. So, hold on. I don't want to get crushed by this. This is right, yeah? Hold on, I'm rethinking myself. Yeah, no, this does it. The Black King is fallen. May you always crush the wicked, be they pawn, knight, or monarch. Proceed. You guys, thank you very much for that patience. That must have been really frustrating because I came so close and then it was like, oh no, I can't lose my queen. After saying multiple times that I'm okay with losing the queen because after all, it's not like we get to carry her home afterwards. So we did it. Marquardt, thank you very, very much for the cheer. I am a little curious if I could have just smashed the king without moving any pieces. Can I ask that now that it's done? Can you just smash the king? Can you just have Karlach run up with a hammer and just do it? I feel like the game is not going to let you do that. But I'm curious. Marquardt says apparently you can take the king down. He's only vulnerable to lightning damage, so you have to examine him to find that out. Gale, really? So Zar, why didn't... So just so that everybody knows what Gale says, Gale would have given me the answer. Zar, why didn't he? Because I went to camp to get him, thinking that he might be helpful on an intelligence puzzle, and then he just didn't. He was completely disinterested. That reminds me of the old, speaking of Judgment, that reminds me of the Judgment days. So wait. Chamber of Insight. I feel like I might want to have a specific person here to do the dialogue, because first we had Will, and then we had Gale, and Gale didn't say the right thing. So Insight would be Wisdom. I think Halsin has a very high Wisdom. I don't know if it's as high as Jaheira's. It might even be higher. Hold on, I want somebody with good Wisdom. Also, I have a good Wisdom, but yeah, 18. I'm going to vote that that's high enough. I kind of want to have Jaheira here. But let's have an intelligence person. Let's have a Halsin here. I think I just saved it.
Can't give up now.
A good leader has the insight to find good counsel. As a war reaches its end, there is one who doesn't advise for the city's prosperity. Find him and strike him down.
Hold on, let me just in case.
Oakfather preserve you.
No, nothing to say just yet. Wait, there's like, hold on. Can I... Stead's Virtues of Unions. And that was a sleight of hand check. I might have gloves that help with sleight of hand checks. And then what'll probably make this easier is we'll just go to turn-based mode.
Hold still, will you?
I assume that was a failed check then, Alyssa?
Something's on my mind. Hold still, will you?
Yeah, she's not getting like a...
Hold still, will you?
Okay. For anybody that wasn't looking directly at the screen, Halsin, I just clicked on it, and Halsin got it with a sleight of hand check. So, there. We will give this to Alyssa. And then, so, maybe each person can only do it once.
Guide my step. Too fast for my reflexes, I fear.
Okay, Gale. Okay, I guess each person has a shot to do it, but only the one shot. Stead's Virtues of Unions. It's quite obvious that larger kingdoms offer benefits to all peoples within. As a kingdom grows, so does its fields, its populace, and its economy. A few charred corpses is a worthy sacrifice. If a dragon offers to share its hoard, after all, so too should you seek union. However imperfect, should a powerful kingdom march its army on your borders. Some friction is inevitable, of course. Citizens' rights might erode, for instance, but such lesser issues will be sanded down by the march of time. Such is the price of peace. My colleague, Amaps, proposes fair rules of engagement in times of war and forgiveness upon victory. Are we to spare our enemies, then, once they have fallen to our might? Or are we to put all hatred behind us when surrender is offered? Indeed not. For what shall we do once our opponent gathers new armies and masses them once again along our borders? We shall wage another war, and count the lives snuffed out by our own magnanimity. Once an enemy kingdom is conquered, it must be razed to the ground. Only then can we be free of its specter. My life has been a long succession of pleasures. To see my town take to my ideas and cease legal discrimination of local orcs, to see my fight against horrid living conditions in city factories take off, to have the chance to see a new generation take to these ideas of a better, kinder, fairer, intelligent world and run it to new reaches of the continent. It was not a life without struggle, however, and I shall regret its failures. My old friend Swelto comes to mind, who adopted such cruel ideologies later in life. I will forever console myself in the idea that such a brilliant mind would only conceive such theories under the strain of exile and the promise of reinstatement as she ultimately was. I feel like I want to talk to the statue again. And then Halsin.
What path lies before me?
I feel like the person preaching relentless, horrific wars of extermination is the person who's not speaking in the best interest of the people.
Strike down the advisor who would lead the city to ruin.
Alright, so Amap's memoirs is all about building a better life for average, normal people. If that brings the city to ruin, I don't want to live in your city. So I feel like Amaps is safe. This person here is talking about how larger kingdoms benefits everybody within. A few charred corpses is a worthy sacrifice. You should seek union. Should a powerful kingdom march its armies upon your borders, some friction is inevitable. Citizen rights might erode, but such lesser issues will be sanded down by the march of time, such as the price of peace. This is a very pragmatic way of looking at it. It's very utilitarian. It's sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good, even if the greater good is personal freedoms and quality of life and individual rights and civil rights for the greater good. It's not a viewpoint that I personally ascribe to. However, the ethics of war over here says that every war should be a war of extermination, of complete genocide, all of the time. Once an enemy kingdom is conquered, it must be razed to the ground. Only then can we be free of its specter. I don't feel like that's something my character would believe. Like, Halsin, can you weigh in on any of this? I'd really appreciate some counsel.
Oakfather preserve you.
Just completely disengaged. Karlach?
Thought this place was just a legend. Tall tales just keep coming true.
Hey, soldier.
No, this is the one nobody has anything to say about.
How can I help?
Okay. Look. AMAPS is safe. I simply will not accept the idea that building a better life for factory workers and bakers and house cleaners and everything else is going to lead the city to ruin. So, AMAPS is definitely out. That gets us a 50-50 split. Swelto here. Hold on, I just want to make sure that I've got my names correct. Yeah. Swelto is saying that anytime that you have an enemy, you have to grind them into absolute dust. You have to kill not only the soldiers, but their children. You have to kill not only their children, but you have to burn their homes to the ground. You need to make sure that nobody ever comes back at you. And that works great, provided that you can successfully kill every other living thing on planet Earth, because sooner or later, the friends and the family members and the traders and the other people that got along with those people, they're going to get pretty pissed off about it. And it seems to me like, unless you have the ability to take on every nation, everywhere in the world, all at once, and win, this is going to be a path to absolute ruin. So I'm going to freely say that I intend to save scum this, because I really want to meet this dragon, but it's got to be Swelto, right? It's got to be, because giving up, you know, giving people more rights doesn't feel right, and being judicious about what rights people have access to when appropriate, again, seems super shitty, but not this shitty, so... An insightful decision, the Tree of Peace bore lasting fruit. Okay, we did it. I was pretty sure, but I'm not going to be shy about saying I really want to meet the dragon. And now for the 45-minute combat. Wait, I want to look at the journal. We've been granted access to Ansur's lair. It's time to see what awaits us there. Hold on. I think we want Will here. Yeah, we definitely want Will here, because this guy's like friends with his father. Alright, we're back with Will.
With courage does the hero march, fettered by the taxing chains of fear. A stalwart soul must ever persevere. With insight does the hero choose. Guidance born of ancient wisdom proven. Peace, not strife, the undenied conclusion. With justice does the hero rule. Lead not the guiltless lamb to bloody slaughter, nor cleanse the lion's sins in sacred water. With strategy does the hero scheme. A cunning mind, 100 steps ahead, your allies close, your rivals stunned in dread. Worthy you are found. Go forth, hero, seize your fate, and rise, great worm, heart of the gate.
Yeah, I'm a great strategist so long as everybody holds very still for about 45 minutes. So, that's just a lot of blood. I was joking a little bit on the way in about now we're going to do the big combat challenge, but for real though. Halson? What's a good healing spell for everybody?
Hells. The great worm is nothing but bone and memories.
Oh, from a distance I thought it was a lot of pieces. Well, this isn't the cool dragon conversation I wanted to have.
is with you. He is within you. He is you. The next words that spill from your mouth are not yours, but the worms.
I am Ansur, heart of the gate, butchered in flesh, risen in spirit.
This also is not the dragon conversation I wanted to have. Search your mind for what possesses it.
Ansur wends his way through your mind like an unstoppable river. Your body is unmoving, yet thought flows effortlessly between you. The spirit pauses, and you feel the astral prism stir. Ansur senses the Emperor's presence within it.
Answer me, Facey. Why have you come?
I wanted to make friends. It solved your chess puzzle and everything. Really, I'm just surprised there's no, like, I wanted your help because Baldur's Gate is under attack. That, like, to be real, that's what I would have said. I never shy away from a challenge. He's really gonna give me a challenge. My character's kind of ironic, but also I feel like this is really mealy-mouthed. Like, oh, my bad. I never shy away from the challenge. Let's be assertive.
A deep sigh resonates within you. The torrent stills, only disturbed by the dragon's next words.
Brack, my words aren't meant for you. They're meant for him.
The Emperor stirs in the astral prison, then in you. Calm, curious, and detached.
Baldur, your presence has stirred me, as it ever did. I am awakened. Answer. It's been too long.
Baldur? No, I don't believe it.
This is less comfortable than it looks, boys. You two know each other?
Once, long ago, we crossed the Callan together and sailed the Altona. We built a city by the sea. Ansur was my friend. Friend, yes, and more. Until you killed me. Have you come to dance on my bones, Baldur? Was slaying me not satisfaction enough? Satisfaction? No. You left me no choice. You had every choice. You were becoming illithid. I offered you merciful death. You chose to fight. And now you bring your throne before me. How far has the great Baldur fallen?
We're not demanding a reward! Can you imagine? This is what I'm thinking. You boys have at it. I'll just wait over here while you settle your differences. You owe it to both of us. I am also no thrall. I feel like this is more than anything else how my character would react. I don't answer to him, and I am not in thrall to anyone.
Stillness. Ansur's consciousness hovers just above yours, searching, seeing.
Dear Ansur, enough! I gave you everything, Baldur, and you repaid me in slaughter. It is time I return the favor. I am the heart of the gate. I am the one who roared. Let my bones rise and the storms gather. Witness Baldur. The final tempest has come. This time, you will not escape it.
Good luck, everyone. Oh no! I was really kidding about the big fight. I honestly thought I was being over prepared. I figured I would get everybody healed up because it was just a smart thing to do. And he brought his water friends. Wait, where are you? Where is this? Okay, that's over there somehow. Let's figure this out. I absolutely thought that this would be a non-combat thing, that we would talk to him. All incoming damage is reduced by 2, so it's not that much. Spells that alter someone's form have no effect. And banishing it is not going to go very well. Magic resistance. Saving throw, so it's going to be able to save a lot. Automatic attack, so opportunity attack, and then affected entity has advantage on saving throws against any effect that turns undead. Okay, well, fortunately, we're not really reliant on that. I'm going to assume he's going to bring in a lot more water myrmidons, and right now they're far enough away. Now, these guys can move. I mean, they can really haul. They can teleport and fly, so we're going to face them strong enough. And now we know what these crystals do. Okay. That's helpful. Why don't we... Oh, shit. Okay, but we can still disengage, because she can't do anything at this range other than die. And I didn't put on her combat armor. So here's what we do. We disengage. Whatever the hell button that is, yes. Yeah, just disengage. And she releases a fog when she does that. So then she's going to come here. And then Karlach's going to come over and smash this with her hammer. I hope. It is... Oh, she doesn't get to go. It's Halson. Halson, do you have a smashy hammer? He has a stabby sword. Which is not going to go well against this. So... Halson. So, wait, what sort of elemental would we want to have? Fire, probably. We've got poison and lightning immunity, necrotic resistance, and then we know that water elementals are coming in. Are these guys weak to anything? They're weak to lightning. So we could go with an air elemental, but then it really... Cold is our best friend. Hold on, who does cold damage? We already did that. Winter's Breath and Slam. I think Water Elemental is probably our best bet. So let's have Water Elemental come join us. And I don't super care where, but if we're going to blow up a crystal, I feel like I want... What I've noticed is that the crystals confer their crystal health to everybody in a radius. So I'm trying to get everybody in range of this. And then... Flame Blade? I mean, maybe? I guess I could just do this next turn. Oh, it does a lot more damage at higher levels. I'm not going to use it this turn, though. I'm thinking I'm going to hold off on that, and we'll see what we do next turn. Because one thing is that I think that he might turn into an elemental himself.
Where do I go from here?
Why don't we be extremely optimistic? Will got knocked down. Karlach can now hit this. Will has gotten back to his feet. I don't want to stop Karlach from hitting it. I'd love it if Will was... Provokes an attack of opportunity. That's bad. He could Misty Step over to it. He could also Eldritch Blast this guy at a disadvantage. Shoot. Okay, so then don't do that. Okay, This seems like a good time for some radiant damage. And maybe I should have disengaged. Okay, then we won't do that. Let's... Oh, a damage type and become resistant to it. This guy seems like he's going to do lightning damage, doesn't he? He was all, like, crackly. I bet he does lightning damage. I would like to be resistant against lightning. I know that we've got water elementals, but... And then... Oh, that was free. Okay, can I do anything with my... Well, we're going to leave that on, but I don't think that I can do anything else. Oh, okay, sure. Cool, that wasn't a bad hit. And there we go, that's Will. Karlach? I want to hit this with a sword, with your big hammer. Okay, everybody has crystal skin. Remind me exactly what that does. I know it's elemental resistance, but I didn't know if it was anything else. We have 2 turns, all elemental damage. So if we got to run around in fire or electricity, this is our time. So, Karlach, like, this is your time. Branding Smite. I like the sound of that a lot. He is fine with radiant damage. Like, he's not immune to it. So, let's go do this. Now, she got blinded by doing that. Oh, and I really should have raged. Let's wait a turn. Yeah, no, she's out of movements anyway. Okay, now we are Woodwode. Woodwode, I think we're going to take on this guy. Oh, no, wait, I'm Water Myrmidon, or whatever. Who am I? I'm this guy. I think. This is me. Yes, alright. So, let's do some Cold Strike. I feel like answers really are, like, top story here. If we do a regular attack, creates a puddle of water. I just don't feel like that's going to be very helpful. Then again, if we can tie them up some... Can I just move over here then? Provokes an attack of opportunity from this guy. I would prefer not to do that. So we're going to teleport to here. And if I breathe on him, 4 to 24 damage. If I punch him, it's 6 to 11. I might be able to punch him multiple times. I don't know. I think that fog is blinding me. Yeah, we only got the 1 punch. I kind of wasted that. Woodwode. This is who I thought we were before. So, let's... I don't think that we can entangle a water elemental. Regular attack. Twisting branch. I'm going to jump right over here. If I know anything from Pokemon... it's that grass types are really weak against water types. Critical missing all the time. Okay, so I would like to have her in front of the ice puddle so that our people don't slip as much, but I also want her to have her better club. Let's have her... Can we get over here at all? Well, she just used her bonus action. So let's have her sort of position here in the middle-ish, and that's going to get rid of the difficult terrain penalty. And that's really it for her. She can't get into attack range. Okay, well now she is just in the wind. Thank God for that crystal, though. So... Now what? Well, now we're on a new turn.
Father, shield your servant.
This guy's weak to nothing still, huh? Okay, so I do think that we need to... God, I don't hate Flaming Sphere, but this guy's probably going to be moving around a lot, yeah? So let's do a shapeshift, and I can't because... Wow, okay, we should have short rested on the way in here. Another thing I would have done had only I known to expect. Let's come up... No, I think that we might blow that Mass Cure Wounds right around now. This does how much? Up to 28 healing? I feel like every single person can benefit from... It's a little much, in fairness. But... This is my friend, yeah? And then Will, Karlak, me, and Alyssa. Do that.
Take hero.
And then that's his action. For his bonus action, we could Misty Step. I feel like what we just learned is that we want our guys to be further apart so that we don't all get hit quite as easily. We could Misty Step and try to pommel strike him. I really don't think that's going to be as helpful as I'd like it to be. Provokes an attack of opportunity. From who? Yeah, we can't get up there. All right, let's pommel strike this guy then. We can only do it once, but... Alyssa. I think that we... Yeah, we 100% lost Hunter's Mark. Except we didn't. No, we still got it on there somehow. Okay, so that's good. I don't think that we need a bonus action for anything specific. However, I think a Potion of Speed would be very helpful. Do we have any more of those, or are those gone? We used several of those against... What's-his-face? Yes. Alright, so now we get up to 4 attacks. Hitting him with lightning isn't going to be very helpful. Oh, you guys, why don't... This is necrotic damage. It also prevents him from regaining hit points. I don't know if he's got any sort of heal, but if he does, I definitely don't want him to be able to use it. We could also do... What? Wait, we could silence him. I don't know if that's helpful, though, because his breath weapon isn't really a spell. He doesn't need to talk to do it. He needs to do the opposite of talking to do it. Acid, maybe? Poison immunity and lightning immunity. Let's do some acid. And some fire. And... Oh, we have an arrow of dragon slaying! Let's definitely do that. I don't know how many more dragons we're going to face, but this seems like why we were carrying these. And then, again, let's spread out a little bit. Right. And our dryad friend died, so we might slip and fall, but... Okay, I stopped before getting too close to the edge. I don't want to get knocked off. Maybe we'll come, like, here. And that's her 4 attacks. And that's everything. Okay, so we definitely have to stop that. I didn't even see where he went. Here's our water elemental. Water elemental can do that winter's breath, but it would go best against multiple targets, and I don't have those right now. Water Myrmidon takes extra ice damage, doesn't he? No, he got some crystal skin on himself. Fortunately, this dude didn't. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We're gonna come up here. Can we fly? No, not dash. I don't think that we can fly. Okay. Can we do something to hit this guy then? It's only a 55% shot. If we come here or so, then maybe we can Winter's Breath him. And an elemental warp. Can't quite get past the lightning, I don't think. Okay, but now we're forcing him to choose which direction he wants to attack. So these guys can heal him just like my guys can heal me. So I do feel like we need to do our best to take out the water myrmidons. He might summon more, and that's okay. Let's do a frenzy. Okay, I lost concentration on that. It's fine. Alright, that guy's down. And now let's do... Oh, I can't do very much more. We could run through the electrified water. She still has the 2 points of crystal skin. Sure. Will. We could challenge him to a duel. That'd be fun. Sure. This is his action. Is there any better action that I do? He has no particular immunity to force damage. And neither does this guy, by the way. Why don't we see if we can pitch him into the... We've only got a 60% shot. I'm going to super burn this to try to knock this guy into the void. Okay, bye. That's helpful. Let's try to make sure he doesn't do that to us. He's got big wings, and he might know how to use them. We don't have anything else specific to do about Will. I think I'm going to pull him back a touch. Okay, Water Myrmidon. So here's the good news. Now we all get to go, and he doesn't have any more ways to heal. 300 points. We can do this, I assume. Karlach, I would like not to slip on the ice. Paulson, can you summon another friend, or are we done? No. Okay, so here we go. Let's do... Oh, actually, I like Fairy Fire. All attack rolls against them have advantage. Can we do this? I mean, this guy might not stay where he is, but he saved. Does that mean that he's not illuminated? Crap. Okay, that didn't do anything for us then. Bonus action. Let's go for the... No. Well, yes, because I can't shapeshift. Unless I have any way to recover that. I don't think so. Okay, then we're going to do Flame Blade. How many of these do I have? Okay, let's do... My goodness. Flame Blade at level 4, because this does more damage. We're going to go up by 2 levels. Okay, Alyssa is all electrified, but sometimes that's good for her. Why don't we go ahead and hit him? He's still our Hunter's Mark quarry. And we're going to fire some more arrows of dragon slaying, I think. That really it didn't do that much. I know that he doesn't take lightning damage, but I was hoping for more. Acid, I feel like, is going to spray on our own guys, but also... feels like it's something. And then she got 2 more attacks. Let's just do regular attacks here for a second. Oh, can I? Do you think that I can possibly ensnare him? Oh, wait, no. This will break Hunter's Mark, and I don't want to do that. Now, she has 1 more turn after this where she's hastened, and then she loses a turn for lethargy. Shall we throw... Wait, what do you mean? Oh, right. Do we have any bonus actions? I could drink a potion, but she's at full health. I actually have nothing more to do with her. I could try to jump back here. Sure. We'll get out of the lightning water. But I don't want to stand on like a narrow precipice. That's just going to get us knocked down. Try to stay away from the edges. I think we get to the other side of the water and we ice blast him, but I just want to aim carefully. I don't want to hit our own friends. End turn.
My turn.
Karlach. I really, really want to hit him. I hope she doesn't fall. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. Since we have to either inflict or take damage on every round, I'm thinking about this crooked wand of fireballs. I just want to do it when we don't have everybody else around. Let's do a crooked throw right now. We're going to throw a javelin at him. Okay, good. And now if we fall, we shouldn't hopefully lose frenzy. What do you mean? How? Okay, then we will use ranged attacks. 30%. God damn. And I can't get to him. Darn it. Maybe I should have jumped. Will, can you get out of the way so she has a more straightforward shot? I'm not sure that I want to try to move him, though. Stab him. But more successfully than that. You could also miss a couple times. It's good. We'll lull him into a false sense of security. Ooh, that's a lot of healing, though. He's down by like 30-ish hit points. Sure, this is a better use. Okay. Karlach just can't quite get in here. Let's... Nope. Just immediately down. Okay, that was very bad for us. All right. Paulson, how's that super heal feeling? No super heals. All right. Protection from energy feels really, really good about now. So why don't we have him... do protection from energy, maybe on himself. For lightning. Yeah. Now that's concentration, so he can't do as much now as he could have done before. We want to try to move him over as best as we can. And don't ask me why we can't, like, walk through this area. He really wants to go around it. And let's get him the very best healing that we can. We could also misty step over to him. But no, we're going to... He has to have some sort of healing potion.
But to keep going.
I don't feel like I have any way to... It just hasn't been landing. And this is her last turn of, like, quad attacks or whatever. So... we can't push him back. I think we go with some more acid. By the way, what's her mega shot on? It's currently off, and at a 65% shot, we're not going to turn it on. Let's... back up a little bit. that really doesn't improve our odds at all. But now we can maybe... Are we still... Yeah, we're still on Hunter's Mark Quarry. So let's go for Dragon Slaying then. 65% though. Let's try to hit him. Nope. That's some. And now we will... Let's go for that Arrow of Dragon Slaying. Why are you only showing me that though? 70%. That one hit true. Let's do another one. Part of me doesn't want to spend all of our arrows of Dragon Slaying on this guy, and the other part of me is like, and this is a completely rhetorical question, please do not answer this. How many more dragons are we liable to face? They're not that common, right? Wait, not dash. We want to teleport. And Ice Breath. Boy, Karlach, how do we keep your rage going? I guess run around in the... We may lose her rage on this turn. We're very, very, very far away. We can't... Wow, we can't get there either. I know that she's on ice, but why does it feel like her movement is completely hobbled? This is a bonus action. Okay, we're going to go for dash. We're going to try to get off the ice. Try to work our way around. And that's as far as she can go. And then Enraged Throw is too far away, and that's too far away. So... yeah, I think that she loses her frenzy here. No, that's it. I think that she loses it. That's okay. She's got more, and if we're ever going to take a long rest again... I would like to take a Misty Step. And then we're going to... Disadvantage, why? Oh, and now we're in range to do that. Okay, so I've really cooked myself on this. Let's just maybe fire a 6%. It's worse than anything. Okay, I shouldn't have come in as nearly as close as I did. I don't know why I clicked that, by the way. I meant to do the stab. Okay, and now we're done. We're done, because I certainly don't want to take the attack of opportunity. Okay, hold on. I don't think Alyssa can move. Right, she's lethargic, and what a perfect time for it. So, let's assume that it's all around him, that it's not just going to be in this direction. Let's try to achieve minimum safe distance. We're going to have Halsin kind of want a Misty Step, but let's see what he can do with a dash. Okay, I don't want him to run around Karlach. Karlach, let's also have you dash. Maybe we can get... Yeah, we'll cozy up next to these crystals, and then hopefully next round we'll be able to get the crystal skin. I don't like Alyssa's odds, since she can't get out of there. Water Elemental is probably as good as can be. Maybe we can punch these crystals a little bit. And then will. Sure, 55%. Path is interrupted. By what? He's up in the sky. Critical miss and a critical hit. So in the balance, we're exactly happy with Will. And yes, healing, please. No, that was just everyone in the world. Wow! There is no such thing as minimum safe distance. That was everything on the whole map. Halsin has 1 hit point, Will has 10, and we've got lightning strikes coming down in these locations, one of which is directly on Alyssa. All right. So let's get Karlach back on her feet. Let's not go into the fog. And we'll move over here. And with his bonus action, I think we drink a potion. It's honestly hard to think of what potion would be enough. It's something. That's Halsin. Karlach has no actions. She can get over here. I'm just gonna have to hope against hope that he is himself, like maybe he needs to take a breath after that, because otherwise I don't have anything. I don't know what to do. We're gonna try to heal her. That is not very much. Now, Will has to get over to help Alyssa and then get back out. And that is not plausible. We could throw a potion at her. I think that we grab a healing potion. We've only got the one, sure. And then we're going to throw it at her. Now, sometimes this has worked and sometimes it does nothing. And when it does nothing, it really irritates me. Hold on. I'm going to make the unpopular choice of quick saving here because I am comfortable with this course of action right up until the healing potion doesn't actually do anything when you throw it. Because I've had that happen and I don't know why. We're going to throw it now. I've got it right on Alyssa. And I know it says 9%, but people have said that it always heals the target. Okay, that got her back on her feet, which is what it needed to do. Now for his bonus action, he can drink one himself. And that's it, really. I think we just sort of like hang out here. And then Alyssa moves out of the lightning range. Now, if I didn't have to move next to my friend, so that again he had to choose his targets a little bit, and also preferably not so close to the edge. Yeah, we definitely lost that. So let's put our Hunter's Mark back on. Onsor is half down, so we've not lost yet. It definitely feels like that, but no, we're still in the game. That was dirty. Okay, so apparently the lightning strikes keep happening from now on, is what I'm learning. We have to do as much damage to him this turn as we possibly can. That opens with Karlach. Karlach can... wait. Can get to him. We frenzy. Are there any area effect spells that I want to do before we have her standing face to tooth with this guy? He's going to move out of spike growth. He's going to fly out of plant growth. Protection from energy. Sleet storm, he's not concentrating on anything, I don't think. It's not nothing. I think I need more bodies on the field. Disease, poison, paralysis, or blindness. I don't think anybody has any of those. Fairy Fire did not help us. I was really hoping to get the advantage on the attack rolls. And we could try it again. Is there any benefit? Doesn't grant any higher benefits. This is versus Dex and requires concentration. This guy's dexterity is a 10. Like, I think maybe we just got unlucky. I'm going to try for Fairy Fire. I'd prefer it to not affect Karlach if we possibly can. He saved against it again. Okay, so we've accomplished nothing with our turn. Let's drink a potion. Stop it. Hold on. Back here. We will spread out a little bit. Even though we know he's going to fly, like, back over here. It's just trying to not have everybody in the range. Let's move Alyssa here. And then Arrow of Dragon Slaying. Like, that's it. Like, this is our only chance to possibly survive this. And that's all of our Arrows of Dragon Slaying that we've collected through the entire game. Aside from that, we could... Hunter's Mark him. Except I don't know that we can. We could expend a higher level spell. Let's conjure a barrage next time. That might be helpful. Yeah, targets still take half damage. We'll do that next time. Otherwise, that's Alyssa. Will, let's move you out of the lightning field. And then... What do we have, buddy? I don't know. Poison spray? How about a cantrip? Because we can double cast cantrips. But he's immune to poison, right? Yeah. Poison and acid I tend to have to check. Okay. Let's Eldritch Blast. One, two, three, four. 2 critical hits. I will take it. He's down by 75% now. Featherfall isn't going to help us. If Karlach hadn't just... I would use the Elixir of Colossus on Karlach right now, if I could. And then fire resistance. Do I have any, like, potions of electrical resistance? No. Or lightning resistance, it might be called. Scroll of Blight doesn't do anything if they are undead. Elixir of Lightning Resistance. We do have that. Well... I feel like I need that on Karlach more than anybody. Shit, she doesn't have any hit points. And we can't throw one at her right now. Okay, maybe we'll take that elixir. I should have looked that up earlier. We're going to have Will chill out for now. Karlach, do it. What do we have? Possibly daze your target. I don't know. We can give that a shot. It seems really, really unlikely. And he's immune to prone. We did see that. Piercing shot is ranged. Okay, let's go with concussive smash. Okay, it's still damage. She hit on both rolls. Okay. Karlach surprisingly did not go down. We need to get her in range to keep her frenzy going. Or she needs to do some sort of damage. Not enough movement. Really? How does Dimension Door work exactly? Because I'm feeling like Paulson here might really benefit from having a Dimension Door. Give me a Dimension Door. Teleport yourself and one adjacent ally to a place you can see. The ally cannot be larger than medium. Okay. Again, I understand how I think this works. I want to move Holson here, and then I want to teleport him and Karlach over here. So that's what we're going to do. But I want to make sure that I just mechanically don't do it the wrong way. So we are going to save it really quick. We're going to bring him in here. Then we're going to Dimension Door. Cast. Choose target to teleport. So that's Karlach. Choose teleport destination. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now, if this is a bad idea, then I pay the consequence, but this is what I wanted. So, then we'll do some healing word on... Oh, no, I won't, because even though... So it's doing that bug again, where even though I've got the spell slots, it doesn't actually let me do it. I could Misty Step away, but I feel like we're not gonna do that. I don't know what I would get for moving away, so we're just not going to. Karlach. Hit this guy really, really hard. I don't have any prepare or anything like that, so we're just gonna hit him. Okay, do we have anything else? Frenzied Strike. Do it. Okay, down to 74 hit points. That's everything from Karlach. That's everything she's got to give. We still cannot healing word. This bug is very annoying, I will say. That's not helpful to us. Misty Step. If we Misty Step, I think we just stay here, truly. Alyssa, let's move here. So we do have Hunter's Mark. How do I do damage to this guy? So here's our options. We drink another potion of speed. We have 4, yeah, that's what we do. Thunder and Force, let's do this. But we don't want to hit our own friends, and we definitely will. 70% shot on a regular shot. What I want to do is True Strike, but we'd lose that. Sneak Attack range is our next option. Okay, Potion of Speed. We've got 2 more. Okay, now we've got 4 attacks this round. We 100% know that he's going to move. Let's use an Arrow of Darkness, because he moves every single time. We're going to do the Sneak Attack. 61 hit points. Let's hit him. 50 hit points. We haven't seen any sign at all that he can heal himself. Let's go for an Arrow of Acid. It doesn't hit our own friends. 42 hit points. And then let's do a... Nah, Hamstring Shot doesn't get us anything. Weakening Strike doesn't get us anything. I think it's just a regular attack. Let's do another Arrow of Acid. Maybe it's just a couple extra points. That was a solid hit. 27 hit points. Do we move her anywhere? Let's move her like here. Will. Will is out. I think that we try to challenge to a duel, to be honest. What's the range on this? That's the range on this, and we can't... Oh, well, 20%. Let's do it. No, it didn't work. But let's do... 5 hit points. Are you serious? Will, spit on him. We don't have anything left. That's it. Okay, we either kill the shit out of him right now or we all die. Alyssa, you've got 4 attacks, please. Alyssa, please don't do this to me. It's a 70% shot. He doesn't become, like, invisible, right? Like, he can take damage. Sneak attack! What? What happened? He was hit for 0 points of damage. He's immune to piercing damage. What does that mean? He's hoarding energy. Resistant to all damage. I don't care. He has to be dead now. We're gonna move out of the lightning. Although, like, this is it. It's fine. Karlach, beat him to death with your axe. Okay! Really needed that to stop.
Unsure. I never thought I'd see him again.
Well, so many questions, to be honest. Why did you conceal your true identity from me?
My true identity is the one you've known from the moment we met. I concealed nothing from you. I simply left out the details that were not pertinent to our cause. But it seems you are interested in them.
She's from Baldur's Gate. I don't know how I feel about this still, but she would be kind of cool with this, I think. Like, I think that there's at least a little bit of, like, for real, though. You literally founded Baldur's Gate. Of course I'm interested.
Such sentimentality. Very well. It's like I always told you. I was just like you. An adventurer who yearned for greatness. And in mortal terms, I achieved it. As captain of the Wandering Eye, I acquired enough gold to found Baldur's Gate. I stayed for a while to watch my city grow. But it was not enough. I grew restless again. The sea called to me, and I ran to her with open arms. Life at sea was not easy. Our last adventure was ruinous. My ship was destroyed, my crew lost, but my spirit was far from broken. I was determined to return in triumph once again. I heard of treasure in Moonrise. I strove to find it. What I found was an illithid colony, where I acquired a tadpole much like yours, and became a mind flayer, enthralled to the Elder Brain. It was Ansor who found me. Ansor who pulled me from the Brain's domination. Ansor who brought me home. He sought to cure me of my sickness, called on every healer he could find, nearly broke his spirit in the attempt. But he failed to understand. I wanted no healing. I was not sick.
It's a fair question, especially since we have reason to believe that Selmaine was herself becoming a Lithid. That's awful.
Yes, it was. Even after he had exhausted all possibility of reversing my condition, he still clung to hope. I tried to convince him of my reality. I was on the cusp of greatness beyond my wildest dreams. But all he could see was a mind flayer. He came to me as I slept, a mercy killing in his mind. I saw the tears. I felt his grief. I had no choice but to kill him first. It was an act of self-preservation.
This is my first thought. Is being a Lithid really worth the cost of a ham sandwich, much less the loss of a friend? It seems like a horrifying way to be. You could have done the honorable thing and let him kill you. I admire your commitment to survival, but your methods are questionable. That's interesting. Because Alyssa also killed a friend in every functional sense to save the life of somebody else. It wasn't her own. Is being a Lithid really the cost of friend? That's what I'm gonna say. This is a really interesting one, because I do feel like there's a side of her that would say that, because she's done, look at what she's done to be able to survive. Your methods are questionable. I don't want to linger on this, but would she say that? No, there's all sorts of things that she wouldn't do, including kill a friend just to live. I don't feel like it. Is being a Lithid really worth the loss of a friend? But he wasn't doing it to become a Lithid, he was doing it to not die. I'm going to say this. I admire your commitment to survival, but your methods are questionable.
There were no alternatives. In my place, you would have done the same. Do not think that I am ignorant of what I have lost. I may not regret my actions, but I do regret that they were necessary. While the past is beyond my influence, the present is not. It is time we move on. 2 netherstones remain in the hands of the Chosen. We must find them before we confront the Brain.
Hold on, she just fell asleep. Alright, Will.
Ansur is dead. There'll be no great tempest roaring through the skies, no dragon redeemer to save us. What hope then for Baldur's Gate? Without the Great Worm's aid, is the city doomed to fall?
You braved the Worm's lair, seeking a savior. Yet it was you, all of you, who vanquished the undead abomination which Ansur became. You are more powerful than you understand. It is you who are the Tempest. It is you who are the heart of the gate.
Hate to say it, Will, but I agree with the Mind Flayer. Baldur's Gate doesn't need a dragon. It needs you.
You're right. We are the warriors who'll slay the Absolute. We are the guardians who'll defend this fair city.
So, you guys, that was super weird when you all saw it. Will was sort of emoting, and then it did that animation like there was a telepathic communication, but we didn't get any voiceover from the narrator, and there was no visual effect of like the the purple energy coming off. So I feel a little bit like I missed something there. Smite the Absolute. It would have been nice to have a dragon on our side. I really thought we were going to get a dragon on our side. Not along silently. No, this requires a statement. Is this too negative, Nelly? I really wanted to have a dragon on our side.
Perhaps. But we will still smite the brain, and still be hailed as champions. I could even claim my father's own ducal title, and carry his banner after this. Grand Duke Will Ravengard, Marshal of the Flaming Fist, the city's truest defender.
Take it from me. People might take one look at you and start running their mouths. But you don't need them. You can do this.
The Absolute's end would be the guarantee. Devilish visage be damned. If I were to call myself Grand Duke, no patriarch would deny the claim.
What is happening? Why? Okay. I fear lust for power can get the better of you. You're a hero, not a politician. That's my immediate thought. I feel like what he's talking about right now is completely alien to Alyssa. I feel like she hates this. She hates this side of him and has never seen it before, because I've never seen it before. No. No. No, I fear your lust for power could get the better of you. You're a hero, not a politician. This is the absolute opposite of what she thought he was.
You're right. I fought to right the wrongs of the coast, to slay the monsters that hunt the helpless. What good is a champion who puts himself above the people? What good am I as a politician just out of reach? There will be no Grand Duke Will Ravengard, and there will be no Blade of Frontiers. I am now the Blade of Avernus. For as long as demons and devils imperil the Sword Coast, they will be my prey.
Okay.
A calm settles over you. The Elder Brain is a menace, but with the Blade of Avernus at your side, you know you will triumph.
Hold on a second. You guys, what is going on with Will? Rhetorical question. Will is like, I'm the Blade of Frontiers. I am out to help the innocent and to live in the wilderness. I'm going to brave the frontier and help the people of Faerun by striking down the monsters that fight them. And then we knock down a dragon. And then it's like, you know what? I could take my father's title. More than that, I could be the Grand Duke. I could be the second Archduke of Baldur's Gate. I could be in charge of everything. It's like, and then like, my character, Alyssa's like, whoa, Will, slow down. You're a hero, not a politician. You're right. In fact, that was a stupid idea. I can't even believe I thought of it. No, I hate politics, no. In fact, I won't be the Blade of Frontiers either. From now on, I shall be the Blade of Avernus. I shall be the singular demon hunter that scours the Sword Coast. It's like, bro, you just made 3 major life decisions in the course of about 90 seconds. Maybe take a nap. Like, yeah, I'm high on the adrenaline too, but slow it down, take a Xanax, and maybe we can make all our grand life decisions tomorrow. Oh my God. What is happening with him right now?
The Blade of Avernus. A new name for a changed man. The 4 pillars finally rise within me. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. I'm not to abide them, but to become them. But enough reflection for today. I'm of a mind to celebrate. A hearty meal would do the trick. A few hunks of fresh venison, a round of brown ale. What do you say?
I think that sounds lovely, but Will, you are aware that I did all of those pillars. You provided valuable counsel on one of them, but sounds heavenly. Yeah, no, sounds heavenly.
Wonderful. You hunt the deer, I'll scrounge up the ale. Prepare your belly for a roast a la Blade. Let's hope Gale doesn't take offense if I assume cooking duties. Just the once.
Okay, he's a chef now. I assume that there's not a lot else new, but let's...
Sure.
He is high as shit right now, so let's talk about us. So I'm curious if his opinions changed at all.
My favorite subject.
Okay, I feel like when else would you kiss if not among the rotting bones of an elder dragon? I taste bile. I think some of it got in my mouth. Anyway. Halson, do you have anything to say?
Will intends to take the fights to the very hells themselves? I can think of no one more capable.
The Blade of Avernus. I can't think of a better man than Will to take up the title. It's about time someone stood up to the evil fucks populating the hells.
Okay, was this like an existing title like Superman? Because he might as well have just called himself Max Power. I don't understand why everybody's so impressed about Will just sort of like saying this is my name now. If that's what he wants to be known as, that's cool, but I'm not sure why everybody's impressed by it. So he was carrying the Baldur's Giant Slayer, and I feel like at the moment it's going to go to Will because he's super in on this. On a hit, double the damage from your strength modifier. No, this goes to Karlach. 100%. 100%. This weapon grants you advantage on attack rolls against large, huge, and gargantuan creatures. It's a +3. It is two-handed. This goes straight to Karlach. Do not pass go. Dear Ansur, I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. There is no cure, and that's all right. I'm fine, more than fine. I'm better than I've ever been. So why torture yourself like this? Of course I know why. Remember Yal Tengri? You and I sailed together for months seeking the Great Spire. By the time we found it, we were sick as dogs. But you never left my side, not for a moment, even though you could have simply chosen to fly. You told me there was something about experiencing it with me. Through my eyes, you wanted to share in my passion for the adventure. It was, you said, a privilege. The truth is, the privilege was mine. You were the greatest thing that ever happened to me, Ansur. I never had to ask you for anything, but I'm asking you now to stop. I may no longer feel my feelings, but I know yours, and yours are agony. It doesn't have to be this way. Be free, Ansur. Fly. And know that even if I'm not beside you, I will always have been your Baldur. We might end the day, and I even have a short rest left. I have 2 short rests left. I feel like I want to take a long rest. Hey, Jaheira, what have you been up to?
The Blade of Avernus. I suppose hell is just another frontier.
So, the Blade of Frontiers is dead. Long live the Blade of Avernus. I just hope he stays focused on battling infernal forces. The undead have it hard enough already.
Do you feel that? The hells themselves tremble to face such a scourge as Will threatens to be. The Blade of Avernus, forged by a cambion, whetted on a dragon's hide. Those devils won't know what's coming for them.
We're gonna end it there. We're gonna call it right here. Save up the game, find somebody fun to raid, and see you guys again very, very soon for episode 42 of Baldur's Gate 3. Don't know which questline we're going to follow up there, but given that the last one was all about the House of Hope and this one was all about Ansur the Dragon, I'm going to think that the next one is most likely going to be Cazador, although we might also go settle up with the Bay Knights that are manufacturing the bomb teddy bears. Not sure on that just yet, and we will decide that at the top of the next episode. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.